Virginia's voters go to the polls in less than a month, and this year's high-stakes races have produced some especially harsh campaign ads. Julie Carey joins us with an example. Hard to believe that I thought they were all especially harsh when it comes to campaigning these days, Julie.
It starts to feel like that in the closing days. You know, the GOP controls Virginia's General Assembly right now, but Democrats have gained strength in recent elections with Governor Tim Kaine and then Senator Jim Webb. Now they hope to gain ground in the General Assembly, and a Prince William County House seat is one they've targeted. But tonight, the incumbent Republican there says Democrats have gone too far.
I couldn't believe it.
Delegate Jeff Frederick is talking about this piece of campaign mail that recently arrived at homes in his Woodbridge area district. In his 2 terms in the General Assembly, Frederick has been staunchly anti-tax, yet the ad, paid for by the Democratic Party of Virginia, claims he has a plan to dramatically hike taxes. On top of that, Frederick complains his image has been altered. He believes this photo from his website was used and changed.
When they've taken my face, they've doctored the picture, they've put horse teeth on me. You know, looking at this mail piece, it just goes to show the desperate place, how desperate they are.
Frederick's opponent is former Dumfries mayor and Democrat Chris Brown. The Democratic Party sees this race as competitive, a possible pickup of a House seat. By the end of August, the party had spent $35,000 on Brown's campaign. The Democrat himself did not create the mailing that's angered his opponent, but Brown says he stands by the message. He says Frederick's affiliation with a group called the Club for Growth means the Republican supports radical tax reform that could lead to hikes.
My opponent has been a longtime member of the Club for Growth, which is an extreme thinking group. They believe in the abolishment of the federal income tax code as we know it today.
It's the exact opposite of what is the truth.
And Brown questions the treatment of his picture in Frederick's campaign mail.
I can tell you that in some literature that I've seen, I've been characterized as being a bit darker than I am.
Brown has complaints of his own, though, pointing to this ad from the Frederick camp that charges he supports the controversial abuser fees on drivers, something he strongly denies. Political analyst Mark Rozelle says the intensity of the 2000 races naturally brings out the worst in campaigns.
And so when the stakes are raised because the races are competitive, a lot more money is coming in, the campaigns get a lot nastier, and you just see a lot more campaign activity in ways that we're not used to, such as bigger media buys and a lot more candidate appearances.
Now, a spokeswoman for the Democratic Party of Virginia says she's not familiar with the Jeff Frederick mailing because of the dozens of pieces of campaign literature she's dealt with this election cycle. But she added, quote, "People expect certain things in the rough and tumble world of politics. What we really ought to be looking at is whether people are telling the truth. As usual, the voters will decide." Back to you.
Yes, they will.